2003 NFL free agency, man, it kicked off. It was fast. It was furious. I mean, all day we just been seeing names going off the board. It's crazy. Whew.
Can we
Yeah,
keep up though, man? Can we keep up? There's
it's
a
been
lot.
hey,
There's a lot of names.
it's been a frenzy for sure. I mean, left and right. You got to keep refreshing your phone or your laptop screen, or make sure you got your post. And as we speak, I'm sure deals are still gonna be going on. So this first day, the first couple hours are normally crazy. Then by the next day, it slows down a little, but it's still big names still out there. So I mean, it's crazy. Just stay tuned.
Yeah, look at Alex right off the back. O line signings went quick. You have to protect your quarterback. I guess that's a great thing, right? Um, and as you watch more and more, you start hearing more about coaches that you've always been very curious about. But let's go right into it. I mean, the AFC East, they made a lot of noise, right? So I'm gonna read off some of the names. The Let's start off with the Buffalo Bills, right? Because with the Buffalo Bills, they signed an offensive guard, Connor McGovern. Course, us Dallas Cowboys, we had a lot of experience with him. He agreed to a 3-year, 23 mil. They re-signed their own linebacker, Tyler Matikovich, and then they signed Matt Milano, right, to a 2-year extension. And of course, they kept their punter Sam Martin. We saw it was really good for them. And the Dolphins, they went and they secured a backup quarterback within the actual intra division, right? Mike White. They signed the linebacker David Long, who
That's
was
an
out
under
of
the radar deal right there. Cause he's probably gonna get some playing time. He's probably
I
gonna play.
thought,
So I think it was a 2-year deal too. So that's a
yeah, 2-year, $11 million deal, and then of course the Jalen Ramsey thing. You know what I mean? And then
yep.
you go onto your Patriots. You're from the most of them, they're re-signings. But the one key re-signing was Jonathan Jones. I'm pretty sure that's one that Pat fans love,
And
right?
typically for the Patriots, the first day we normally take care of our own guys. We've always done that, so it's no shock to me that we ain't get the big splash names and all. That's no shock. I'm used to it as a Patriots fan. Like we know we take care of our own guys, and then in day 2 or day 3 we start going into like the tier 2 and tier 3 guys. Maybe a splash here. I'm waiting on a certain name, but we get into that later on.
Well, look, Alex is already asking which Chiefs have won free agency so far. We'll get to that in a bit. We'll get to that. That's a good question. I mean, you can't really beat around the bush. The Jets, they signed Quincy Williams, Chuck Clark, acquired in a trade, and Greg Zerline, and that wraps it up for the AFC East. Overall, what do you guys think? From the four teams that we just talked about, who won?
Uh, right now, I
Within
mean,
the
you got to go.
division.
You got to go with the Dolphins right now. I mean, they trade. He wasn't a free agent, but they traded for Rams. Then they just signed. They signed the linebacker from the
David
Titans, I
Long.
believe. I can't think of his name right now. They just signed him. So Dolphins look. I like Buffalo signed the lineman. They're still losing a lot. We get to the big man they lost in a little bit, but they re-signed some linebackers, signed the lineman because they offensive line they did need that. Um, and the Jets, well, I mean, it's not official right now, but they're probably gonna get Rodgers soon or whatnot. But I think low key the Patriots won because they brought back their own guys. I'm not just being a homer.
When it's all said and done, man, I'll be honest with you. The minute that we find it's official that Rodgers himself says he's going to the Jets, that's got to be the big one. That's
Yep,
got to be the big one. Like
yep, yep.
because for me, I think the Dolphins just kind of maintained. They lost Byron Jones. He didn't really play that, so it's not really that big of a deal. But I would say probably the Dolphins and the Jets are kind of even keel as the top teams that made some pretty good moves actually.
Look,
So
Dwight Thrasher, he's one on the Cowboy cast. I heard the Jets also got Rodgers, right? And that's the big thing is that I think that's the holdup in the whole
yeah,
entire thing is that it seemed like there was a deal that was already in place. It looked like he was going to be a Jet, and then for whatever reason, that's why when this whole thing started, I said I don't even know why you want to mess with Aaron Rodgers. He's going to take his sweet time. The AFC North, man. I think the Bengals. They even though they lost their safety. We'll talk about Jesse Bates in a bit. They did sign their own linebacker Jermaine Pat. It was 3 years, 21 mil. Cleveland Browns. Um, they were able to re-sign and they were able to bring in an edge rusher, right? Oba Okoronoka. I'm sorry, man. That it is what it is. The Steelers got Patrick Peterson, who's been one of the most fun players in the NFL for quite some time. They got him on a 2-year deal. I mean, right there from the right out of the gate. I mean, AFC North has been able to make so much noise. I think there's been some chatter about Lamar Jackson possibly talking to other teams, but I haven't really seen anything from our trusted sources. So it is what it is right now. Let's move down the list. AFC South.
The Bengals also lost Von Bell too to the Panthers.
Correct.
Yep.
AFC South. Let's see what they did. The Texans, man. The Texans got to work. They brought in Case Keenum. They had already signed Robert Woods prior, but they signed up Robert Woods. They added a tight end, Andrew Beck, a center, Scott Quinsbury, edge rusher Chase Winovich, Hassan Ridgeway, and MJ Stewart. Man, the Colts, they brought in Tyquan Lewis. Jags brought in CJ Beathard. Evan Ingram, of course, they gave him the non-exclusive, and Roy Robertson Harris signed a 3-year deal. The Titans, Andre Dillard and Morgan Cox, right? Who remembers Andre Dillard being a first rounder for the Eagles? Great. But that does it for the AFC South. Overall, guys,
this is all about the Houston Texans, man.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you look at the names, right, and you just go down the list, this coach, man, with this general manager is saying, I want people to compete. That's what it's about, man. I don't think these players are kind of like, oh, just fill in the blanks. I think with what they're probably going to draft and these players, you're going to have to fight for your job.
And it looks like they're going to draft a quarterback. I mean, I'm just saying for them not to have been able to get Jimmy G. Oh man!
And you look at the names; it's not the biggest of names for the Texans, but the fact that they're going out like Chase Winovich, come from the Patriots and the Browns. Ridgeway, like they get some guys there, get some depth players. And I think, like I said, the Texans are a piece here and there from actually doing some damage, especially in that division.
Yeah, that defense was low key good last season. If you weren't careful, they'd still win from you, man. AFC West, man. The Broncos signed Jarrett Stiddy, your boy Stiddy Kendall. You remember?
Yeah.
You remember?
Stiddy? That was a shocker.
That was a shocker. I thought he was going to stay with the Raiders, but no. Matt Hurts, tight end. Ben Powers, also that's your guy, Harv, right? That was a guard that should be targeted. Mike McGlinchey, they paid him 5 years, $87.5 million, $50 million being guaranteed. And then Alex Singleton, I mean, right out of the gate, the Broncos just made some noise. Kansas City brought in the offensive tackle from the Jaguars, Jawan Taylor. Ain't he a former first rounder too?
I believe so.
I think he is.
Yeah, 4 years, $80 million. I mean, look, I gotta tell you this much right now. All those that say that once you give a quarterback, that big contract, you can't bring in players. That's all BS, man. That just means that you don't know how to do salary cap. In fact, you just don't know how to build a team around the players you need. Let's go to the Raiders. The Raiders, right? I mean, I'm trying. I don't know. That was a good impression. Please let me know. Did I do good? Right? Dwight Thrasher says Robert Woods is better than people think. You're gonna pick up young because he can play now. Woo! I think he hit it right on the dot.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Raiders, right? I was trying to give you the best Raiders. What was the name of that guy? Chris Berman, right? Jimmy G signing a 3-year, $72.7 million contract. Amir Abdullah, Josh Jacobs, of course, they got the non-exclusive franchise.
They just signed Marcus Epps, I believe.
Epps. They gave him a 2-year, $12 million. And I'll tell you this, Marcus Epps, I thought was a player that I was hoping that my team would have, been able to sneak into, but no, he went day one. So it just shows you the ability that he has. Chargers went with Easton Stick, and that's about it for Kansas. For the AFC West from right there. I mean, you got the Raiders, and the Broncos making the most noise. I mean, let's
Chargers also, they might be trading Austin Eckler.
Yep.
that is also a report that is out right now. He's asked for permission. Whether he's been given to it or not. How do you feel though? Let's look at this. I mean, look at right out of the gate, the Broncos seem to Sean Payton really seems to have a blueprint in hand, right? How do you guys feel about all the moves they made? Because I mean, these are some big time contracts that were handed out.
I like what the Broncos did right now. It's like Sean Payton's put his mark on this team already. The offensive line was a mess last year. Russell Wilson was a mess. So he said, listen, we're going to start from the inside out. We just start with this offensive line. They went ahead and started getting the offensive line. They got 2 starters.
Well, my question is why is that every wide receiver on the trading block? That's what I want to know.
Well, they need some picks too.
Because yeah, they do. They do. No, man, I'll tell you what. I honestly think Sean Payton is like, I'm gonna go with what I got, and I'm just gonna add to the offensive line. Because if you think Jared Stedman, that's a sneaky move. I think that's very sneaky. Because what if Russell doesn't play the way he should? I think Stedman's pretty good, man. And with the arm that he has and that offense with Sean Payton, I think that's a good fit, honestly. But you got Ben Powers and Mike Linchecki. I don't even know how to say his name. Those are 2 big moves, man. I wanted Ben Powers so bad. But to me, I think maybe it's just me. I think Mike got paid too much, man. You think he's worth it? Yeah, you think he's worth $20 million?
The way I seen Michael Parsons throw him in that damn game, I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like you just paid that dude that much money. I don't think he was worth it. That's just me.
Mike McGlinchey, I can't. That's his name. That was crazy. I mean, they're making memes about that as we speak.
Dwight Thrash says Broncos are going to make a Super Bowl run, man.
Oh man,
with that kind of moves, that urgency. But let's talk about the Raiders for a moment, man. Because the Raiders kind of look like they have like a new mask on, mask off type deal. Jimmy G coming into the Raiders. Number one, I think this is a bad career decision, but I want to hear you guys' takes.
Go ahead, Kendall. I'll let you take it away.
The one thing, I always say this: the best ability is availability. Can he stay healthy?
Ooh.
That's it. If he can stay healthy, I think he can do something with the Raiders if they continue to build their team. They got all the talent in the world there, and you saw what he had in San Francisco with Shanahan and them and all the talent they had there. But if he can stay healthy, and everywhere he's been hurt. He was hurt with the Patriots. He was hurt with the 49ers. He'd probably be hurt with the Raiders. I'm not wishing on him, but he'd probably be hurt with the Raiders. but if he can stay healthy, it's a good sign. And short term, I think what was that 3-year deal? I think.
Yes, 3 years, 72.75, averaging about like 20, a little less than 24 million a year.
I think he's like, is he 30? Like 30, 31 years old?
I could get you that for sure.
I want to say 31.
I don't think it matters, man. He looks young. How much? I mean, he's fine. You know what? This was more of a continuity move than anything else.
Well, if anything, I think it rules out the Raiders probably drafting the quarterback in the first round. I think
you don't know that.
He's 31. He'll be 32.
Okay.
He'll be 32 this year.
The reason I say that is because Jimmy knows the offense. So what better way to groom a guy coming in than to learn from Jimmy G because he already knows the offense.
Another way.
You might want to read these comments.
Yeah, it's crazy. Jimmy G is hot garbage. The Raiders just gave up.
Wow.
Oh. Russell is 1,000 times better than they have played last year. They will be back this year. Jose Pasi, another way. Jose. If Brock Purdy takes your job, you're not the guy. Oh.
Wow.
Damn. Are you saying the Raiders are on a full tank mode? I mean,
that's what it sounds like.
I mean, damn. I feel bad for the Raiders fans. They'll know what it felt like when they were making fun of the Dallas Cowboys in 2020 when Dak broke his ankle. But anyways, getting back on it. We don't forget. Kendall.
We don't forget.
I'm gonna hold my comments to the end on that.
Stop, Kendall.
We don't forget, baby. We don't forget, man. Remember, man. I remember people telling us
What?
straightforward.
Oh,
We
what's
suck.
up? Is that old domain?
Oh, domain?
What?
What?
What's up,
Yes,
baby?
sir. Yes, sir. We talk football too all day, not just Dallas Cowboys, man. We know our stuff. Dallas Cowboys have been relatively quiet, but we already know that's how they work. That's
Can
what
we
they
have?
do.
Can we have a silence for?
A moment of silence.
Okay, thank you.
All right, it's done. So the only thing that's been done for sure is the Tony Pollard move. We've heard the rumors. Apparently Jerry Jones is all in on Odell Beckham Jr. I've seen Bobby Wagner being tied to him. Also, we don't know right now. All we know is that Stephen Jones is a very frugal man, and because of him, we are overpaying for Ezekiel Elliott and freaking Tyron Smith, and they just restructured Michael Gallup and freed up $7 million. But are we gonna use it? I don't know. I think that this man just likes to save up his money and put it into a 401k or something along those lines, right? Which if you're putting your money into a 401k, you are doing yourself a disservice. The New York Giants, they gave Daniel Jones, of course, the big time deal. Saquon got the exclusive. Sterling Shepard agreed to a 1-year, $1.3 million deal. Wow, I didn't even know.
That's horrible.
Did you even know about that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Raheem Nunt Roaches, Gerard Davis re-signed with the Giants. Bobby Ukariki agreed to terms on a 4-year, $40 million. That's a big deal right there. $22 million guaranteed. Of course, punters gotta get love. Jason Kelsey's coming back. Brandon Graham also coming back too, right? So the commodes are we call them the commodes, but the commanders.
The commodes.
Yeah. Andre Wiley signed a 3-year, $24 million. Nick Gates agreed to terms on a 16.5. Deron Payne received, of course, the franchise tag, but then dang, he got paid. And then Cody Barton, David Mayo, they actually claimed Cameron Dantzler, who was released by the Vikings, and then Danny Johnson. So they really showed up their cornerback situation. What he said, Jerry Jones has a short-term memory
I think it's related to somebody named Iden, but you know.
He needs to sell the team. I mean, either that or just step away from being in the spotlight. I think he likes the spotlight more than he likes actually helping the team. If they don't want to target a wide receiver, or I get it, but at least upgrade your defense and more O-line. That's what the Cowboys really need.
That's what it should have done.
Yep. Jerry thinks this team has been set. I mean, it really does feel like he feels that it's really set. But us Cowboy fans, we know, man, we're tired. We're frustrated, man. Why is it that we can never sign a big-time name player?
I don't know, man. But I'll tell you what, just looking at this, the Eagles were kind of quiet. I mean, they signed Brandon Graham for a 1-year deal worth $6 million. That's cheap, man. But if you look at all the moves, the Giants and the Commodes did the most. Like, they signed a lot of players, man. A lot. Man,
really did.
This is gonna. Hey, I'll tell you what. If this NFC East, man, I'm telling you, like it's gonna get crazy, man. If the moves that they're making and that we're not making, I don't know, man. It might even kill the whole thing for the whole year. So we'll see.
So I know Kendall,
yeah, but it's still early though, man. Still early. First wave.
Hold on, Kendall and Harvey. You guys saw Walt saying something about the Commanders, right? They're working towards the quarterback.
They want
look at what Dwight says. When Lamar goes to the Commodes, the Cowboys may finish last in the division if they don't make some money moves. I want to know where you guys seen this report, because I have sources.
So I saw it on Twitter. I don't remember. I was scrolling when I was at work, but somebody said that Daniel Snyder is willing to put up the money because he ain't gonna pay it to get Lamar Jackson for the 1 year and sell the Commanders.
Wow.
And he don't have to deal with it.
Wow.
But to go out in that 1 year and try to win it for the 1 year and then sell the team.
Hey, right down 95 for Baltimore ain't far from. I mean, Baltimore and Washington not far.
So Damien is asking, is this a new channel? No, Damien, this has been mine, Kendall's, and It's been a channel that we created back in what was it, February 2020, Kindle, with Fidel.
Yep.
And so Hari just recently just joined on, so now he's a part of the
Basically,
whole.
hey, just Damien, just spread the word. Spread the word to a friend. That's it.
I'm part of the East West, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ego kills talent every time. Listen up, Jerry.
But I'm telling you, man, these Giants and the Commanders, man, they're not playing around.
They're not playing around. They're really not. If he can make the Commanders a contender, the value of the team would probably skyrocket. I think you're absolutely right.
And that's what I'm saying. Daniel Snyder, think about it. If Daniel Snyder gets Lamar Jackson, pays him the money, because he only really has to pay him for 1 year.
True.
He brings them in. He sends them to the NFC Championship, maybe the Super Bowl. I don't know. You never know. And then he just skyrocketed that price for that team, and he says, "Hey, it's for sale."
Hey, and then now you're talking about a $5 billion team, right? Trying to beat up there with the Cowboys. But let's move along. NFC North, the Bears, right? The Bears.
Boy, they've been busy.
Yeah, they've been real busy, man. Super busy.
That general manager looked like last year. It looked like he was asleep, or I don't know. Maybe he was studying a handbook on how to be a GM. But damn, he looked like he opened up the right book. And damn, right from the get go, I love how somebody said. In reality, they got 3 first-round picks. Did you guys see that? I forgot who it was, but why? Because DJ Moore is considered a first-round pick, and then of course they got the 2 first and the 2 seconds to move down in the draft. But damn, they've been busy. Offensive guard Nate Davis signed a 3-year deal with them. Tremont Edmonds signed a 4-year, 70.
That's a big move, man.
That's a huge off the ball linebacker, man. And then TJ Edwards signed a 3-year, 19.5. I mean, they had the most cap. What was their cap, Kendall?
The Bears?
Yes.
They had like 70 million available in space.
They're not paying a quarterback.
They're burning that bridge right now as we speak, right? What he said, but he pays him and gives him 2 first rounders, correct?
I can't wait to see Edmonds in that and Matt Eberflur's system though.
That's gonna be sick.
That's gonna be nice.
Yeah, you're right. Because I mean, I saw somebody said that maybe he could be like his Darius Leonard, but I mean, I don't know. Was Darius Leonard ever? Okay, Shaq Leonard, right? I think
he changed his name.
Did Shaq ever play the mic though?
I think he did, man.
I believe he did was the mic.
Yeah, he was the mic.
It's just so weird, right? You just always see him playing off the ball, just chasing people down. Who's gonna want to pick up that team?
I'll tell you who's gonna want to pick up that team. The
Jeff
name
Bezos?
is Jeff Bezos and Jay-Z.
Yeah, I think. Well, Jeff Bezos bought the Washington Post, so yeah, there's definitely a guy out there that wants it. The Bears gonna be deadly next year. Damn,
they are. The way they set up this free agency, like they were not messing around with that defense, man. Because you gotta think they're supplementing both sides evenly. They got Claypool, now they got DJ Moore. They got that great tight end. I forget his name, Kendall. Mr. Almanac.
Oh, from Notre Dame?
For who?
For the Chicago Bears.
From Notre Dame.
Dude, come on, man. Like
he hasn't done a lot the past 2 years.
But I think with the couple of changes they're making, man, he could be that guy, honestly. Yeah. So it's very dangerous. But the way they supplemented the offense with the defense, with the 2 linebackers, I mean, that's what they've been missing, man. Now guess what they need? They need them big boys up front.
And Kokomet and Justin Fields look like they have a little bit of a chemistry together, man. Yeah. I will say
and I think the Bears got a bunch of picks in the draft too.
They do.
They got picks. They got cap space. So far, and it's early, they won. You got a number 1 wide receiver. They got a first in 2023, right? They got first next year. Who knows how that first one, because the Panthers might be a mess next year. It's early. We don't know yet. The Panthers are making some moves, but the Bears, like I said, if they're kind of like in the Eagles situation last year, Fields not the guy, they got the ammunition next year to move up and get a guy.
Not only that, depending on what those 2 first rounds are next year, right? Let's say they're both in the top 10, Kendall. and teams want those quarterbacks.
Damn.
Can you imagine if they go back again
And selling them off?
The real MVP right now is GM Ryan Pose.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. Dwight Thrasher says great moves by the Bears, and they will pick up Jackson Smith now to play with Fields again. I'm not gonna say no, because they had a really good chemistry while they were at Ohio State. Jose Payus, what was the purpose of freeing up the money if we's going to hold on to it? He's talking about the Dallas Cowboys, right? Cowboys, I don't know, man. Like I told you, I think Stephen Jones just thrown into his 401k, right? He's one of them 401k guys, right? Just like all these companies getting us to invest into a 401k. Because why? When you're turning 65, you get money out of there, but they're gonna tax you on that. Oh, Damian, Bears either gonna pick Nolan Smith or a good linebacker or a good corner, right? He's saying like Witherspoon or Joey Porter. Ooh.
So in my head right now, depending at number 9, if they don't trade back, I'm looking at 2 players. That's Wilson, the defensive end from Texas Tech, and Nolan Smith. Can you imagine one of those guys?
I don't think they can go wrong though. Which I mean, as long as they go defense, I don't think they can go wrong. I think the offense is fine. Get some guys up front. The receivers are good. Tight end. Let's see what happens at running back. Montgomery, he's a free agent, but they get some big guys up front. They might get Jackson Smith and Gigby just to get them with Fields or whatnot. But they need to go defense in the draft.
But Kendall, they can move.
Somebody did give
move
Harvey
up and down.
Somebody gave you a hard time, Harvey, when you said, "What about Bijan?"
I did. What I know they did, right? I'm not saying
looking at it now.
Would I pick it? No, I wouldn't. But think about it. You got Claypool, you got DJ Moore, you got the tight end from Notre Dame, and you got him too.
Last year they got Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon. They addressed the back 7.
So you address maybe another lineman, but if you get Bijan, with those weapons, bro, that's gonna be hard to pass up.
They gonna be young as I don't know what though.
Let's move along. Detroit Lions got Greg Reynolds, running back, defensive line, Isaiah Bugs. Isn't he from Alabama?
I believe Bugs did go to Alabama.
Yeah, he is. He's from Alabama. Alex, the linebacker, Alex Anzalon. They gave him. They re-signed him. They got Cameron Sutton, man.
That is the big one.
3 years, 33 mil. I mean, 21.5 guaranteed. What's that?
But
I'm sure Walt is happy.
Oh yeah, I know he's happy. I know he is. But this is the thing, right? Now they don't have to pick a corner at 6. Because I don't know if I would pick a corner at 6.
Well, who they got now? They got Okuda, they got Cam Sutton, who else?
But that's my point. You really
got 2 first rounds.
You're not forced.
Then they do got 2 first round picks.
Yes.
Yeah, and at 6, you're not forced to go corner. What happens if a quarterback slips to you?
So maybe they go linebacker.
I think didn't you say that too, Harv? If a quarterback gets to?
I'm telling you, man.
What do you think, Kendall? If the Lions get if there's a quarterback, a big time name,
and where they picking at right now? The first pick
6.
is 6. They're probably going to land a quarterback for the future, and then probably go defense, probably go linebacker.
Yeah, I could see that,
dude.
If Drew Sanders falls to them,
he looks like I can see him there too.
Ooh,
with Campbell.
And then they have a high enough second rounder where they can draft another corner.
Dude,
the Lions would be instantly. They've set themselves up for the future.
Just imagine
now the future and forever.
Kendall, with that offense, Kendall.
Just imagine the NFC North next year. The Vikings, I don't want to say blowing it up, but they're cutting a lot of players. Rodgers probably won't be back in Green Bay. Bears got so much money, and they got some picks in Detroit. They got some pick like that whole division gonna be flipped upside down for the next.
It is, man.
For the future.
And he goes, don't forget, Steelers picked up Pat Pete. Yep, we talked about that one. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm resigning Dono, which is Donovan Wilson, Jonathan Hankins, and that's it. Call Bobby. Hey, we'll give you this for 2 years. He's talking about Bobby Wagner. because everybody wants Bobby Wagner to the
They do.
Cowboys.
They
Well, the
do.
Cowboys Nation, they'll be okay with Bobby Wagner. I want to say I seen something saying the Lions was a Super Bowl odds-on favorite for next year.
Hey, hey,
Woo!
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm probably gonna put money on him.
I
I'm
think
telling you.
this will at the beginning of the year. What you do is you just
Yep.
throw $150.
And they might
down.
re-sign Jamal Williams.
Hey,
Well,
his
yeah.
name right now is the hot name right now.
It is.
What he said, maybe call OBJ, say, hey, we will give you a 1-year deal. If you pass our expectations, we'll give you a 3-year deal. All right. He's talking about for the Dallas Cowboys. I like how you think. I like how you think it. The Packers, they really didn't do much. They did sign a kick returner, punt returner.
That was the big
Austin
news. All
Eckler.
Packers and Jets fans was waiting.
The Vikings signed Josh Oliver, tight end.
Very good player.
3-year, $21 million. They paid him pretty good.
That
Hey,
means Irv Smith is probably gone.
I think the first one to come off the first one to make it official was the Falcons signed a huge deal, right? Chris Lindstrom, offensive guard, re-signed on a 5-year, $105 million extension. He was in the final year of his contract. That when we saw, I don't know. When I woke up, that was the first thing. Then we saw the Patriots do a smart move and got rid of Geno Smith.
They're like $5 million tight ends they got.
So glad we got rid of him. Glad.
Yeah,
freed up some cap space too.
Yeah. Kendall was fed up with him since last year, right? Edge rusher Lorenzo Carter, David Animata. Jesse Bates. This is a big surprise, right? 4 years, 64 mil, 23 mil. I mean, he got paid like it's one of the highest safeties of all time. And then, of course, they signed a kicker, Bradley Pinion. Real quick, Jesse Bates. I mean, what do you guys think?
My thing is, I don't understand, man. Like, he's such a great player, but I would have kept at least one of them, one of the safeties. But they didn't, man. That's weird.
I like what the Falcons are building over there, signing Jesse Bates. That's a very, very good move. They got Bates now. They got AJ Terrell, young defense. Dean Pease is still over there calling that defense. They acquired Jonnu Smith. So I like what the Falcons are doing so far.
DM says, in general, a lot of teams are making odd picks. In my opinion, the Panther GM is not smart. The 49ers don't know what they're doing, and Lions an underrated team with some grit, right? And Steelers are Steelers. Well, yeah, Steelers are Steelers. OBJ is 100 years old in wide receiver years. Might as well just go sign Julio Jones if you want an old guy. Falcons are mediocre, but dang, I mean, they did sure up okay. I like Richie Grant. They selected him in the second round.
Yeah, I like him
2 years ago. Which I thought he was a sideline to sideline kind of guy, and they're getting another one. So I don't know what they're planning to do with that defense, but I know that this should help out AJ Terrell. I think somebody said he had an off year this year. It's kind of hard, right? Eagles are being cat friendly like the Cowboys. Yes, they are, and their whole team is being signed right underneath them, right? And the Comotes are risking it all for a biscuit this year. Ooh, man. I love it. The Panthers, man, they re-signed some of their own, Bradley Bosman, Shai Tuttle, and then the safety, which is the one you're talking about, Von Bell. He signed a deal. He signed was it a 1-year deal? Let me see.
I didn't see the numbers on.
Yeah, I didn't see the number. It didn't say the number. It just says he's just signed with the Panthers. So damn. Then of course the Saints, who I think by far right now everybody's saying that they're favored to win the NFC South. Derek Carr was I think the best get so far.
Yep.
As far as quarterback wise. 4-year, $150 million contract, $60 million fully guaranteed. The contract is about under $32 million.
And Kamara and Lattimore restructured their contracts.
Yep.
Jawan James signed a 2-year extension. Tanu, man, these names are getting so hard to pronounce. Askin signed a 2-year, $6 million extension. JT Gray. Then we got the Bucks, who re-signed their cornerback, who I thought was gone.
I thought he was gone too, man.
I thought he was gone too. Jamil Deal, they re-signed him, so they were able to lock up their own, right? Overall, let's get caught up. Where do I sign up to be a GM? Oh, Kendall, where'd you go? What's the name of it? Where you went to?
SMWW, Sports Management Worldwide.
And you get to interact with the people that have actually been GMs and show you how to do a scout. They'll find something in there. I want to build a Super Bowl team. We all want to build a Super Bowl team. What about them Raiders? They picked on us, man. They picked on us. They told us we suck to our face, man.
They did.
They said the Cowboys just suck and it's not Gucci with the Nucci. And man, we heard it all, man. They really signed Jimmy G. Yeah, they really did.
Why is everybody hating on the Raiders, man?
Bro, it's a Cowboy Raider thing, baby. That's what it is, man. What Jimmy gonna do for the Raiders if he couldn't do nothing for the Niners, man?
Wow.
Damn, that's a low blow, man.
No, that's kind of like what Kendall said, but he said it in a nicer way.
Kendall been in the game for about 3 years now. That's why. Cardinals didn't do anything.
They're trying to get rid of D-Hop.
The Rams got a third rounder and Hunter Long. The 49ers signed Sam Darnold. Okay. He agreed to a 1-year contract. It's a very interesting contract. But they took Javon Hargrave away from the
big sign.
Yeah, from the Eagles, man. 4-year, $84 million deal, including a $40 million guarantee. Defensive lineman Kevin Givens. Tayshaun Gibson re-signed to a 1-year, $2.9 million, and then long snapper Tabor Pepper. Overall, dang these Niners. Then of course Geno Smith. We cannot forget about Geno. Geno did sign a relatively nice contract, a 3-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks, right? And I think his was $31 million as salary cap. Let's talk about these Niners real quick, man. These Niners seem to find ways, right? Now, we'll say this. I was listening to NFL Network earlier, and I heard Jim Trotter. We've talked to
Jim Trotter.
Talked to Jim Trotter. He's a great guy to talk to. I like what he said. He said that when he first interviewed Kyle Shanahan, he said that he asked Kyle Shanahan, "What is more important to you, a dominant defense or a dominant offense?" And Jim Trotter said that Kyle Shanahan's response was, "Give me a dominant defense. I'll take care of the offense." Mm-hmm. And when I said that, I was like, "Holy smokes, man." I think these teams have been doing it all wrong the entire time, man. So I think that if anything, Cowboys, hey, man, you guys need to. Hey, is this thing on? You guys need to work on making sure that defense can be the 2001 Ravens, and let's go. Right. Let's go get this NFC, and let's just oppose our will on these teams, and we'll figure out the offense along the way. But I believe that's about it, guys. Can you believe we went through the whole list? He goes, what Jimmy gonna do for the Raiders if he couldn't do that for that one? He goes, same for the Saints. Derek Carr had Darren Waller, Devontae Adams. Then he moves to the Saints to play with washed up Michael Thomas and Chris Olave, right? With the mediocre O-line, some teams are making no sense. Look, I'll tell you this. That defense that they have is a good defense, and that's something Derek Carr's never seen. I said, be careful, pump the brakes real quick, Damien. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you, don't speak your mind. Speak your mind. I'm just saying, but be careful because I think that this might be a good medicine for Derek Carr. You know what? I think that he might have an actual opportunity to get this NFC South division, and he's in the playoffs, man. And NFC is still wide open, right? But I think we went through the entire list of today so far. I haven't seen anything right now, but the top available for free agents is Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Believe that he was an Eagle.
Jacoby Myers still out there.
Who?
Jacoby Myers still out there.
Yeah, I was gonna go down the list. Orlando Brown, but we know why you want to say his name. Orlando Brown, James Bradbury, Levante David, Jacoby Myers, Dalton Schultz, Caleb McGarry, Isaac Samula, Bobby Wagner, Zach Allen, Jordan Poyer, Marcus Davenport, Juju Smith-Schuster, and of course there's many more. And then of course Jacoby Myers. So these are like the top available free agents. Overall, guys, I guess let's go ahead and go to the first question, right? The first question was, or the third question, which was which teams have won free agency. We can pick one from the AFC, one from the NFC.
Pick two teams.
One from the AFC, one from the NFC if you
For the
want.
NFC, I'm going with the team with the most money. Chicago Bears have won it. From the AFC, shoot, man. I mean, right as we speak right now, I go with the Broncos. I like what Denver did.
Kendall stole my
thunder
teams, but I'll tell you what. I honestly think the Derek Carr signing is big. I hate to make fun of Derek Carr and the Saints, but it's like that kid, that's really big and is playing on Pee Wee, and he gives him a fake birth certificate, and he's actually like 3 years older than all the kids. He just came to an easier division. He came to an easier place to make it to. That's what he did, man. Like, let's just be honest.
It's a great analogy,
right?
though.
It is. That's what he did.
It's a great analogy.
But to me, man, the Bears, man. I mean, for them to supplement that offense just in an off season right now, and the way they did it with Edwards and Tremont Edmonds, man, what are they going to do in the draft? Because listen, just because they have those picks now doesn't mean they can move those picks in this draft. So, I mean, they could put a really good team together, man. And I'll tell you what, I bet you the person that's most happiest right now has to be Justin Fields, man. Because remember, they were not talking to him about what they were going to do with the number one pick. And I think there was for good reason. He's got to be sitting back like, man, who we getting? Like, he's got to be chomping at the bit every day, all day.
Not only that, but happy that he's a part of the future, right?
Yeah.
And I think if you would have got rid of Justin Fields, you would have done a huge disservice to yourself, to your team, because, like you said, you had this opportunity to do these moves. Dwight Turner says Juju would have made an okay ad for the right price. I think he's actually right. So he's actually still talking about he's a part of that list, and that list is forever. I wasn't gonna read all that. I agree about Carr. He's just like Jimmy G. He had all the talent around him and still looked average. I don't know if Derek Carr ever had the talent around him, man. Because honestly, he never really had a defense. And I think Kendall was the first one I ever heard say that. Kendall, am I right or am I wrong?
Just as right as you can be. Hasn't had a defense. So, I mean, let's see what he did with the Saints. And one thing we know about Dennis Allen, since he's been with the Saints, that defense is going to be good. And go ask Tom Brady the past couple years. He has struggled against the Saints defense.
No, and then I will tell you, the other one, Kendall was right, was the Broncos. I hate agreeing, but it's true, man. I think Sean Payton's being very sneaky with that Stedman signing him, and then the two offensive linemen. I think that's huge, man. I think he knows he has to protect Russell Wilson, something that unfortunately the Seahawks didn't do. So we'll see, man.
I do
big
think
moves.
It's interesting that they signed Jarrett Stidham so quick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, they got him so quick, so it's kind of like, you know,
and that's what I'm saying. It's sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of there's so many things that I like, right? Like I like how the 49ers were so aggressive, you know what I mean? And then I'm kind of curious about the Sam Darnold. Is he going to be your day one starter, or is he going to be your backup? Because from the reports that I read is Brock Purdy, right? He's not going to be ready for the beginning of training camp. I don't know. And from what we've always heard, right, Harvey? I mean, people pick on us all the time for this. Is that Kyle Shanahan is a quarterback guru or the whisperer? Can he be the one to change Sam Darnold around?
Hey,
I think he will.
This Sam Darnold, I think that's a good pickup.
It is.
I really think it's a good pickup. If he just don't turn the ball over, he got the weapons, that defense in San Fran. That's a good pickup, sneaky good pickup. And it's cheap, 1 year deal. I mean, and he ain't even 30 years old. He's young.
He's going to be the starter. I guarantee he's going to be the starter.
He's a first rounder. He's a first rounder, right?
He's going to be the starter, man. Watch.
What scheme are you talking about, Damien? Because honestly, if the price is right, Juju would fit in this scheme. What scheme are you talking about?
I think he's talking about the Niners. I think.
No, I think he's talking about the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
The Cowboys?
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's probably talking about the Cowboys. And he goes, Stidham is a good backup. Russell is the only quarterback that can make the run for the Broncos.
That's true.
honestly, I like what the Broncos did too, but you gotta give. I gotta tap it off to Texas, man. I'm a Texas boy. Hey, good job, Houston Texans, man. You guys are really giving the city of Houston hope. Dang, today was really fun, man. We got to see exactly what we did. Of course, the Cowboys are quiet, right? Cowboys gonna pick up Paxton Lynch. I think there's a meme out there, right? He's the first quarterback in just football history to be benched at every level, right? Every single level. It's insane. No, we're not gonna pick up Paxton Lynch. I think that oh Damien's laughing too, right? Nah, we're not. We're not. We got enough Dak jokes as it is. And then we're not talking about dad. We're talking about Dak jokes. But anyways, that's it, guys. What do you think, man? I think it's gonna be what by next week we'll start hearing like the Cowboys and the Patriots start picking up players, right?
I think by the end of the week, Patriots will pick it up. Cowboys probably like day 2 is normally our day. Keep it a couple eyes, keep a couple names to keep an eye on, like Robbie Anderson, Byron Murphy, cornerback from the Cardinals, Zach Allen, defensive end for the Cardinals. A lot of, I mean, just some little low tier name. I heard we interested in Philip Dorsett, but I mean, yeah, just we're going to swoop into these dates like the lower tier guys. Maybe OBJ, maybe D Hop. Give me Jerry Judy. That's what I want.
So I'll give you what do you
Somebody's already
say?
saying Cowboys are gonna pay Dante Fowler like 15
Wow.
mil. Hold on, chill. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna retire as a Cowboy fan. Oh, Damien. Well, you'd hope you retire from whatever. Team
I'll
you-
tell you when training camp starts is when the Cowboys will probably sign somebody.
Yeah, we've already come to get it. I mean, the thing is, Steven Jones just messes up this whole entire thing. But I'll tell you this: the one that starts is Jerry Jones. He should never give Zeke that big contract. The Tyron Smith, they kicked the bucket too far down, and now when he's breaking down, he's getting paid 18 mil. That's what he's getting. Both Tyron and Zeke are costing the Cowboys roughly around 18 mil, right? Carby,
Yep.
last time we checked on over the cap. So that it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But that's it, man, for the free agency. We'll see what transpires tomorrow. And if we see a big splash of signings, definitely we're gonna be on live on East West talking about it. Jerry Jones and Steven Jones just gotta ruin this team. I want prime Jerry, man. That prime Jerry. I saw a video today. Is like, where's this Jerry at, right? Where he says winning is the name of the game. Cowboys are going to let all the big names go first and take what's left over. Yeah, that's what they've been doing for the last 5 years. They learned their lesson with Brandon Carr, right?
Yeah, there ain't gonna be no big splashes, man. That's just the way we roll.
And watch them saying OBJ and Bobby Wagner. Then we're gonna have to eat crow.
Bobby Wagner, yes, not OBJ. It's
We're
20
gonna
million.
say
He wants 20 million. Kendall, who's gonna sign him at 20 million, Kendall?
No
Honestly.
damn nobody giving him that. 30
Nobody.
years old, 20 million, coming off 2 ACL tear. I think 3 ACL.
Three.
I don't know what it is, but nobody. Nope.
There's no way, man. But we'll see.
From what I'm hearing, is Zeke doesn't want to restructure his contract by a lot. Oof.
Cut him.
I think the writing is on the wall for the Cowboys, man. But we'll see, man. If there's any big time from those lists that we say, if those names come off, we'll definitely be live. But that's it for us. Thank you for joining us. And of course, if you like what you say, right? When he said get paid, right? That way he was correct. And if you like what you see here on East West Football, please subscribe, turn on your notifications, let you know when we go live. Damien, thank you, appreciate it. I know that we have other, like I said, remember we also have a website, eastwestfootball.com. eastwestfootball.com. You can catch scouting reports, you can catch mock drafts, you can catch articles of just about teams that are what they're doing and stuff like that. Subscribe, help us get to 1,000, just like you guys have been helping us get the Cowboy Cast to 1,000, man. But that's it for us. And